to Dove and Dragon Radio. I'm your host, M.L.Ruscsak. I'm here with this very special guest, a very talented young author, Elena Southworth. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome. I have to say, I think you're the youngest guest I've ever had on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Now, exactly how old are you? I'm not going to give it away.
14. I'm 14, turned 14 July 1st, so that's 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the youngest author I've ever had on the show, period. So
nice.
Obviously you haven't been doing this for years, but yet you are very talented and have these books out. So what led you to writing?
Well, actually, I started writing at a really young age. Like, I think ever since I could really hold a pencil, I wrote my first few books about just like school and flowers and whatnot. I don't really remember that much of what I wrote, but I do have some really old like paper copies that I would just like staple pieces of paper together and then just write on them. But when I was 11, I believe, or 10 maybe, I was in 5th grade, like end of 5th grade. So I was about to turn 11. And I was just sitting in my room one day. I was like really bored, and I decided, I was like, you know, I've always liked writing, so why don't I just go and write something? Because like that's what I do when I'm bored. And so I decided to write BBLS, Big Brother Little Sister. This is the book right here. It's called BBLS. That means Big Brother Little Sister. It's actually off of a game that me and my little brother used to play. He would always like complain kind of that he was younger, and I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a game called BBLS. You're the big brother, I'm the little sister, you could pretend to be older than me. And that was like a few years before I wrote the book. I think I was 8 at the time, and he was maybe 4 or 5. And when I started writing the book, I knew like, this is actually a really funny game. Like, we would always make pretend adventures with dolls and stuff about a big brother and a little sister. And so I was like, okay, I guess I could write a book about this. That's actually a pretty good idea. And so I just started writing like out of boredom. And then my mom came up. She came up like to my room and she asked, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just writing a book. And I think she thought that it was actually on the computer. I was doing it on the computer. I was doing it on a Google Doc. And I think she thought that like it was just another one of my little kids' books. But then I like started out with one chapter, and it kind of just grew from there. And she wanted to read it, so I let her read it. And she's a teacher, actually. She taught 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade before, and I think she just really liked it. You know, she thought it was good for kids. So she said, okay, keep doing this. This is really good. And for the next 2 years, I believe, I kept on writing it. And then when I finished the book, we got it published. And I was 13 at the time it was published.
That is an awesome story. I mean, how many times do we hear kids nowadays actually sitting down to write a book? We don't hear this very often. Usually
no.
Adults going, oh, something happened and I got bored during 2020. But you're still in school, obviously.
Yeah.
You started off not even a teenager when you started writing. And now you have, I see, at least 2 books out published.
2 books, yeah. Our second one, it was supposed to tank this week, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get it in time. It should be here next week, but I do still have this one, first book. And also the second one is a sequel to this. It's called BBLS, the Harpers Holiday Horror. The Harper, that's the family. That's the name of the family. Matthew and Aaliyah Harper. It takes place around like Thanksgiving and Christmas. They like have Thanksgiving and Christmas together, and it's just about like all their trouble because they're big troublemakers. Kind of it. Yeah, it's mainly just about like mischief and stuff, and like it's funny. It's really
of course, I mean, you have to have a sense of humor with this. You're a kid yourself, so you're writing misfits and getting into trouble, and obviously that's not you at all.
No.
You don't have
It's not
time.
based off of us.
Yeah. I mean, so you're doing this all on the creative end, and it's wonderful. It's good for, young adults. It's good for the kids because you have a kid writing the book. So it is age
I
appropriate.
know how kids talk. I know what they like. So that's what I try to use in my writing because like I think of it as this way. If I was gonna pick this book up and I read the first few pages, would I really like it? And so that's kind of like how I think of it. Kind of, yeah.
You have the brain of a talented author, and you're going to go very far in life. I mean, if you're doing this now and you're not even old enough to drive a car, don't let the world stand in your way because you're going to go places.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I mean,
yeah.
Seriously, I wish more young people would do what you're doing.
Yeah, that's kind of like another main reason why I wanted to write because I wanted to inspire like younger kids and adults to want to write too. And like it can happen, like just it all starts with one idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything you want with the idea could happen, like you could make it happen.
That is very true. Now you have the second book out. Are you currently starting your third?
Yeah, actually, I have it all planned out. I started writing like the first few paragraphs, but I've been really busy with school, so I'm not that into like writing it yet, but I do have the storyline planned out. It's actually the third book in the series. This time it's a summer book. And the first book, it actually does take place in the summer, but it's not mainly about that. But the third book's going to be like focused all on summer kind of, and it'll be a year later.
Awesome. I mean, of course, you are very active outside of school, I'm assuming, and then you have school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, finding time to write is hard when you're an adult. Finding time to do this and go to school as a child, I can see where that's going to get challenging.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. I've got a lot of work because I'm a freshman and like it's the beginning of the year kind of, and like in high school it's mainly around like this time that they're wanting to give you the most work, but I'll try and fit it in as much as possible because I really do want to get it out, and I'm doing this like for the inspiration of others to be able to donate, and also it'll look good on my college resumes and stuff,
Oh, having published works out is wonderful on college resumes. My daughter can tell you that.
Yeah, what about it?
She's a photographer, so for her to have photography into magazine covers, that was big on her application. So having that, I can see as a mother where putting your books as previous works and anything you do in a college application is going to be huge.
Yeah. If I say that I'm a published author of 2 books or going on 3, if that does come out, then yeah, I think it'll look pretty good on me. That's like another main reason why I did this.
Now,
it's unique,
It is unique. You don't have kids your age having 2 or 3 or 4 books out, you don't even have them getting 1 out. So it is very unique.
Yeah.
Now, are you also linked up with any charities with your work?
Yeah, actually. I have last year around Christmas time, I donated to Orangewood Children's Home and Chalk Mission Hospital. So that's like the most charity work I've done. And when the new book comes out, since it's a Christmas book, I will also be donating that one to hospitals around Christmas time.
That is awesome. See, you're doing something. You have a game plan. And I can't emphasize this. As an entrepreneur, you already know what you're doing. As an author, you always have your foot in the door because you're all linked to charity events and things like this. So you're already a step ahead of many authors who are adults. You're teaching adults.
Oh, you're making me feel so good. Thank you. Well, I mean, I worked for this.
You have worked for this, and anyone that says you haven't obviously doesn't know the mind of an author.
Yeah, it's difficult at times. I'll be honest about that. And also my book is in schools too. So I can't like I feel like since it's in schools, kids like will read it and know that it was written by like also a kid and they will I'm hoping that that will inspire them to want to write a book too.
Write a book, read a book, do something in literature. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
in literature for today's youth, that's a big step anywhere.
Yeah.
So are you thinking about maybe doing your own podcast eventually or promoting your books on other networks?
Oh, I actually have not thought of that at all. Like you just mentioned that to me. I've never thought of a podcast. That might actually be a good idea though. My book is in like different book companies, small bookstores, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Books a Million, a couple different websites and stuff, but I don't really know like where else we can put it, but I'll think about that. Like when the second book comes out, we could like launch that one maybe and sell it in a set with the first book too.
That is something to think about. See, you're gonna have to start learning marketing now. You're 14,
Yeah.
you know, now you got the writing down. Now you have to learn the marketing part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect you to learn it overnight. Seriously, adults don't learn it overnight. So, but
Yeah. I've mainly like I'm trying to manage one thing I don't know how to describe it. I wanted to just like mainly learn how to like manage money that I make off of it because it is good practice for like when I am an adult. Knowing how to manage like your money made off of kind of like your career.
mhm.
Um, if you know what I mean.
I understand perfectly. Not only am I a mother, I'm also CEO, learning how to manage money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I understand exactly what you're saying. And being an author, I understand the money from a book sale. So you take your book sale and you have, how much are you spending on your editor? How much are you spending on your cover? How much are you spending toward marketing? And then how much is your publisher getting paid? How much is your literary agent getting paid if you have one? And then the rest of it's yours. Now, after you get to yours, you would probably have $1.50 left over per book.
Yeah.
Average.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've heard like the about that before.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I do take a wealth management class actually at school, and we were like learning about like not all the money goes to you. There's like other things you need to pay, like your company and stuff.
Mhm.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so 50% of the $1.50 is yours. The other, it goes to your company that's now in your name. So it takes a lot. If you think about it that way, you're not making a ton of money off a single book. But when you're young like you are, it adds up over a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, if I start saving when I'm really young, because I actually do want to start like saving up the money that I make from the book for a car when I turn 16.
You need to
That's
be
like
a public speaker and talk to kids that are your age about what you're doing.
Yeah, I actually have done assemblies for school before, for different schools. I did one for my mom's school, California Virtual Academy. She teaches there. It's like an online school, and also Lanai Elementary in LA.
I suggest do authors in the classroom. It's free, it's through Skype, and you figure out your schedule versus other school schedules, and you can be global.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah. And or I could like go over and if a kid like wants to write a book, I could help them like plot an idea maybe and then let them grow from there.
Exactly. You should get onto authors in classroom. Let's talk. It's that one, all these links I'll send to you. I have your information, but they're all platforms. One, you can be global and get your message out. You're a teenager and you're doing something that most adults don't realize until they're 30, 40 years old. So you're
Yeah.
well ahead of anyone that I've talked to so far. And then you're saving up for your own car. You're learning money management. You're learning executive skills at 14. That is awesome.
Thank you.
So you need to
Yeah, I'm proud of this.
yes,
I am, because I worked really hard on it.
you have. And if you can teach other kids what you're doing, that mindset, that's going to be awesome. It's not just
Yeah.
the book. It's, hey, you're working your behind off and you're going so many different avenues and you're rocking it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like it is like a really good feeling. I've inspired people with this, and it is a great goal to work for, and just a good thing to do. Like, it's a way to, if you are ever bored, like writing is a very good way to pass time, think of a creative situation, kind of just like an escape, you know.
Now you have the book out. Have you thought about doing a board game to go with it?
What do you mean?
Like shoots and ladders type game, but for BBLS.
Oh, I see. Oh, I've never ever thought of that. I didn't even know that like, wow. Yeah, actually now you've given me an idea.
I am very full of ideas, trust me.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'll actually think about that. Or maybe make like toys. I've heard of authors that make like toys off of their book, like
Toys are
toys off of
wonderful.
characters and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
toys are good. Let's see, by looking at your book, you'll probably want something in the Mattel line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just
Like
something,
these characters.
yeah,
Don't know if you could see.
yeah. Something like that, work with Mattel or another company like them to get the dolls out. Because you're not
Yeah.
with this stuff like animals like Pokemon, obviously. It has to be make
Yeah.
sense to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll actually think about that now. That would be a great way to just get the book out there and to make kids like it even more.
Well, once you build a brand, okay, I'm going to go into branding. You're a little sponge and you soak everything up on saying. So when you brand your book, you don't brand the book, you brand the brand. And BBLS is your brand. So when you have a brand, now you have clothing line, you have mugs, coffee cup, stuff like this. You can do games, you can do toys, you can do a lots of things with it. And even a cartoon, just different
Yeah.
avenues to attach to your brand.
Or make a movie off of the book, like many books are turned into movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Film, movies, and things like this. Yes. Yeah, I mean, you're building your brand and you're doing it young. So by the time you're my age, your mom's age, your brand could be the next Mattel.
Oh, really? Oh, well, thanks for that. Yeah, maybe.
No,
I
tell
don't know.
yourself
I
that's
don't know if it would get that big, but
tell yourself
know.
that's your goal. Even if you go to 10% of your goal, you still well ahead of 90% of the kids that your peers are today.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Tell yourself it's positive. Believe me,
Okay.
you can do it. If you can do this at 14, what can you do at 15, 16, 17, 20?
More books. And definitely like what you said, like brands and board games or dolls or, things like that.
Yeah, you can do it. You have,
Especially a movie. It would be a funny movie.
I can see that it would be a hilarious movie.
Okay, yeah. All the mischief that they get into.
It would be
And
equivalent to National Lampoons back in the 80s.
oh, I love that movie. I just hope people don't think that the book is based off of us. I actually put a disclaimer in the second book, like on the very first page, disclaimer, Mike and Tammy Harper are not based off of my real parents, because like they certainly don't want those parents, they certainly don't want anyone reading it to think that Mike and Tammy, the parents in the book, are based off of them, because they're not they're a bit on the wild side. I'll just say that. It's a long
Well,
story.
no, it's based on the opposite personality of your parents.
Yeah, they're opposites. They're definitely not like my parents. I'll just get that clear, because for my parents' sake, I'll make that clear.
It's always awesome that we have to put disclaimers. Hey, this isn't based on our family at all.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. I'm not based off of Aaliyah Harper, the little girl. She's a nightmare. And the parents, they're certainly not based off of my parents.
Well, that's why it's called fantasy, and it's, fun, and this, for kids, and this to make you laugh, but also to entertain us and create other things going on with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good thing to spread laughter kind of through a book like this.
It is, and having a teen do this for other teens, this is awesome. But where can our listeners find you?
They could find me at my website, elenasouthworth.com, just my name. And they could also contact me through my website. If you go under there's 3 lines at the top of the main menu, and then it says contact us, and then it'll send an email directly to the Prodigy Kids Press, that's the publishing company, to that account, and I'll get the email and I'll respond to it.
That
you could find us through that. Yeah.
It's wonderful. So thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. This is amazing.
This is one of the more fun interviews I've done, but thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. No, thank you. This is great. This is a great way to get my book out there, to want to inspire more people. This is just great, and thank you so much.
You are very welcome. And for our listeners and our viewers, happy reading.